Hello students, today we are going to start Chapter 3, Role of Parliament. The first topic which we are going to start is why people should decide. On August 15, 1947, India finally became an independent country. People of all caste, religion, culture, they fought shoulder to shoulder to drive the Britishers out of the country. So the basic principles on which these struggle was being based, that was liberty, equality and fraternity. These were the ideals they were inspired of. Liberty, equality and fraternity. These three ideals were adopted by the Indians. Now I'm talking about Indian National Congress. Indian National Congress spearheaded the freedom movement in the country. Okay, their decision was basically based on the majority. Okay, they were not discriminating any caste, culture, religion or anything. Indian National Congress was formed in 1885. When this Indian National Congress was formed, the nationalists, now they were demanding against the Britishers. Now they were demanding the things from the Britishers and they began a nationalist movement. Now they were criticizing the Britishers' policies. Now they want that their demands to be fulfilled. Okay. Now when the Indian National Congress was formed in 1885, the nationalists, they began to criticize the policies which are made by the Britishers and they were demanding something from them. They were demanding the things from the Britishers. Now, first session took place in December 1885. When this first session took place, what happened? The Congress demanded that their elected members in the legislature with a right to discuss the budget. So it was the Congress demand that elected members, who are the elected members in the legislature, they should have right to discuss the budget of the country. Okay, understand? Legislature is the department which make the laws of the country. So they are saying they demanded that elected members, who are the elected members in the legislature, they have right to discuss the budget also. Now there are many acts which came. Now I am talking about the act. First act was Indian Council Act 1861. This act of Indian Council was introduced to representative institution. This Indian Council Act was introduced for the representation institution for the first time, and it was associated with the Indians that legislature work should be there. So it was basic ideal was legislature work. Basic principle was legislature work. So Indian Council Act 1861 representative the institution and its principle was basically based on the legislature work. This was associated with the legislature work. Now second act came after that. Indian Council Act 1892. This act was, the principle of election was conceded in this, that elections should be held. It was the foundation of the parliamentary form of government. This Indian Council Act 1892, it laid down the foundation of the parliamentary form of government and elections should be conceded. Next act came Government of India Act 1909. These both are also Government of India Act. Government of India Act 1909 says that enlargement should be there of central and provincial councils. The central and provincial councils should be enlarged. Okay. Provincial council and your central council, how they can be enlarged according to the public interest. Okay. They want that public interest should be there. The budget should be in the hands of the central and the provincial councils. Okay, they should discuss the matter of the public interest. There should be diarchy. Diarchy, what is the meaning? Kindly underline this word. Diarchy. Diarchy means government of two independent authorities. Diarchy means government of two independent authority. That is the meaning of the diarchy. It came in this Government of India Act 1909. it says that enlargement should be there of central and provincial council. Okay, fine. Next, they are saying they should take the decisions according to the public interest, including the budget. There should be diarchy system. Diarchy system in the provinces means that government of the two independent authorities should be there. Government of the two independent authorities should be there. That is your diarchy system. Now the Act of 1935. Okay. First, the Act of 1919. In this diarchy system was being set. Next is Act of 1935. In the Act of 1935, they introduced bicameral legislature. Actually, bi means two, cameral means chamber. This generally means having two houses of parliament. Bicameral legislature was being introduced in the center. Bicameral legislature was a kind of a mini constitution. When the bicameral legislature came, it was a kind of a mini constitution. It has many of whose provisions were included in the Constitution of Independent India. Okay, the bicameral legislature, okay, having two houses of the parliament, it was also called mini constitution. Later on, when India became independent, many provisions were being added from bicameral legislature in the Constitution of India. Now the struggle and the sacrifice we did for our freedom, nationalists also did. It involved a major decision-making process. The citizens have to give up their power, they have to involve in opportunities of independent India. Okay, they should be in power, they have to grab the opportunity whenever they are getting. The government have the sensitive people need, demands and aspirations. So government should work according to the needs, aspirations and demands of the people. Okay, the majority and minority should be taken equally. The government should take decision according to that. The next topic is people and their representative. We will talk about adult franchise. When it was being introduced, long heated discussion was there among the members of the Constituent Assembly. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, he advocated the deferment. Deferment means postponement of adult franchise for 15 years. Jawaharlal Nehru and Rajendra Prasad, they stood up for the adult franchise because the adult franchise is an act of faith in the common man, that you are giving a common man the right to vote. So you are having faith in that person, that you are giving them right to vote. So the vote in the favor, it was carried and it was approved later on, that every person whose age is 18 years or above, they are having right to vote under universal adult franchise. The basic and central idea of democracy is that an individual and citizen is the most important person. Okay, an individual and citizen is the most important person. They are having right to choose their government. The government agencies, the government institutions must have trust and goodwill of the people, of the common citizens they must have. All the decisions have to be taken by the citizens. The citizens are having desire to approval and participate in the decision-making process of the government. So people consent and wish is very much important. Whenever the government is taking any decisions, so people approval matters. Okay, because next time if the next elections will be there, they are not going to give you vote. If they are not going to vote for the government, if the government is not working according to the needs and aspirations of the people will not going to vote the same government in the next elections. So people consent and wish should be elected in democracy. If I talk about modern democracy, it is not possible to give approval decision directly because it is collectively taken. What people do? We elect our ruler, okay, by giving vote to them. By giving vote to them, we elect our leader, our ruler. After every 5 years, elections are held in a democratic country. The majority group of the elected representatives, whosoever is in the majority of the elected representatives, if they want, they will form the government. The majority group who get the maximum vote, they form the government. The parliament consists of the members of this elected representative. So parliament consists of the elected members. So in the parliament, the people controls and guides the government. In the parliament, now I am going to talk about elected representatives are there, that is going to control the government and guide the government. The people form government and control it indirectly through the representation in the state legislature. Parliament consists of the elected representatives of the people. Okay, Parliament consists of the elected representatives of the people. They directly controls and guides the government. People form government and control it indirectly through their representatives. Now I am talking about the people elect their representatives to the state legislative assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha. The Indian Constitution has separated the power and functions of your parliament and your legislature. Okay, there are separate power and functions of the parliament and legislative assembly. An elected representative of parliament is called MP, and an elective representative of legislative assembly is called MLA, member of parliament, member of legislative assembly. So the government has separated the functions and the power of the parliament and the legislative assembly. That's why the members of the parliament are known as MP, that is member of parliament, and legislative assembly members are called MLA, that is member of legislative assembly. The next topic is Parliament of India. Parliament of India consists of your President of India, your Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. I am talking about Lok Sabha first. Lok Sabha members are directly elected by the people. Lok Sabha members are directly elected by the people. Elections held once every 5 years of Lok Sabha. Country is divided into 543 parliamentary constituencies, areas. It is being divided into 543 constituencies from where the members are being elected and they stood up for the elections. Each constituency elect one person to Lok Sabha. Each constituency out of these 543 elect their one member to Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha consists of 545 members, 530 belongs to the states and 13 are from the union territories. The limit of the Lok Sabha cannot exceed 550 members. Now, if I talk about Rajya Sabha, then in Rajya Sabha, there are 245 members. 12 members out of this 245, 12 members are nominated by the President for their contribution in the art, literature, science and social service. 233 members are elected by Vidhan Sabha. Okay, 233 are elected by Vidhan Sabha. Now, this Rajya Sabha, the members are elected for 6 years. Every 2 years, 1/3 of the member retire. Every 2 years, 1/3 of the member retires and members are elected for 6 years. This is the permanent body. It cannot get dissolved. But Lok Sabha can get dissolved. But Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. It cannot get dissolved. I have talked about Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So, 2 members are nominated from Anglo-Indian community also to the Lok Sabha. That is nominated by the President. 2 members are nominated by the President of the Anglo-Indian community to the Lok Sabha. Okay, this was the role of the parliament.